Okay, so let's go on and learn some basics about optical art. I want to make a straight line going here just for an intro to this next part. So you can freehand it or you can use your tool. And oops, I took that away too quick. I want to come down and make some vertical and horizontal lines. So just going straight across, lining that up. It'll look much better if you use a tool. Now granted, I am eyeballing it. I am not. Ooh, look, I'm a little bit off. That's okay, because it's just training our brain. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing going this way. Does anybody know yet what I'm making? I am making checkers. So what is the pattern for checkers? You don't have to color in this whole thing if you don't want to, but it is every other square. So you can go across like this and color them in this way. Going every other square. A lot of people will go through and X their squares or put a mark on them just so they don't get confused when they're coloring. And what that is, let me show you on this next line. So the first line, going every other square. When we jump down to the second line, we need to go and start in the opposite color that we did on the color above it. So since we started with the colored square, we're going to start with an uncolored square, and then this would be colored in. Okay, so if you wanted to mark this beforehand, since it's going to start getting a little more layered, then I could just go and go, okay, blank, color, blank, color, blank, color, blank, color, and then I could come down here. Well, I was blank on this one, so I'm going to color this one, blank, color, whoops, blank, color. Maybe you could put a C, blank, you could even put a scribble, blank, you know, whatever works for you. It helps for me if I stop every so often and go ahead and color them in. And like I say, you don't have to color all of them in. I think I'm going to go ahead and at least do the ones that I marked. So this is a basic checkerboard design that we're going to use to make some really cool optical art. And we'll see this pattern repeated in things like bricks or scales, you know, where we are offsetting our lines, the pattern in our lines, every other one. And I think here I'm just going to do the word checkers. So C, checkerboard, checkers, checker. Checkerboard time. Checkerboard, yo. Whatever you want to put there. That's kind of silly. I'm from the 90s. I graduated in 93. Okay. Let me dork out. Okay. So that's our typical checkerboard. So, but let's try some different kind of things. So, right here, we did a long rectangle of a checkerboard. Here, I want you to draw, I'm going to play with it a little bit, a short line, this, and then a longer line right here, and then connect the top of this line to the top of this line, like that, and connect the bottom of this line to the bottom of that line like that. And then I want you to about halfway, right here and here, about halfway, make a line going like that. Okay. Now here on this top part, you're going to make a line going up the same direction as this edge right here. So I'm just going to kind of halfway make a line that angles up like that. And on the bottom side of the halfway mark, my edge is going this way. The line's going this way. So I'm going to make a line that edges down like that. Okay. Now we're going to finish off our checkerboard and just make pure vertical lines, but to play and make this look a little more like a optical illusion, we're going to make the space get smaller as we go back. So I'm going to start about right here, this first one, so I can go straight down, and then maybe a little bit smaller space, a little bit smaller space, maybe even like that. Okay, and then the same kind of coloring pattern every other one. I like to start on a corner, so whichever corner you want to start on, if you want to start on this corner, go every other one, and then whatever works for your brain, you can come here, you can come here. I'll show you a trick that I do. I'm going to wait and try not to confuse you yet. Every other one. You might want to mark these because it's pretty normal and easy to get messed up. Okay. Now it looks like a checkerboard going back in space. I want you to draw another little line here, and then a really long line there. Okay, now connect the top of this line to the top of this corner, and then connect this top of this line here to this corner with a line going that way. And do the same thing with the bottom of this corner here, and the bottom of here, take out to there. Okay, we're going to follow these same lines. So this is our halfway mark. We're just going to make it go straight across halfway there, and straight across halfway there. And then everything above that halfway mark, we want our line to follow a similar direction as its outer edge. So the outer edge is going this way. So our line, it doesn't quite make the same angle because we want to split it in half. So you start where the half is and you just make that same direction. Here I want to line up with that. Make that same direction. Halfway here, be the halfway mark. Go there. So when things get away from us, further away, they're smaller. Then I'm going to bring some space and make those bigger. Add a little bit more space. Now, here, you can do it a couple different ways. You can continue that dark cube there, or you can switch and go every other one. I like both ways. I think it's a little more dramatic when you switch. So if I'm dark there, I go light there, dark there, light, dark. And then I can switch again, go dark, light. And I can go and do that again. Now here's another trick I do is sometimes it's easier for me to go diagonal. Now this might not be easier for you, but you can also start at a diagonal and just color in all the diagonals that way. For some reason, that's often easier for my head. So let me pick it up here, and then I go here. But I could understand where it wouldn't be for you. And then it's this one. Oh, I thought I messed up. This one. This one. This will be the opposite. So that's looking really cool. Just making, it's a simple pattern. I'm making like a warped square checkerboard. So now, down below it, make a real organic shape. So make some curvy, loopy, goofy thing that goes like this. Okay, and then you're going to follow this kind of line. Yeah, we'll go ahead and put it halfway. So about from here to here. No, let's not do that. Sorry. So let me just start to make a line and follow. Kind of follow the line I made before. And I'm going to end it there and then do it again. I might have made this too loopy to be cool. I don't know. I'm going to follow that there. If you want to change directions when you get down here and start following the line of your bottom line like this, you can. Or you can make it all go. I think this is going to be really wonky. We'll see. Okay, so I just kind of followed those contours. We're doing checkerboard, so now I have to make the opposite direction, but I want them to still be curved a little bit. So I'm going to start curving this way. And I'm going to make some closer together, maybe where I'm getting thinner on my thing, and then where it stretches. I think I'm going to start straightening this out and going the other way, just even to experiment. And I'm going to have to probably add some lines in there as I go. Man, I made this kind of complicated. Maybe you don't make yours as complicated, but maybe you do and you challenge yourself. So here's every other one. I'm going to start this way. I don't trust myself doing diagonal on this, but I'm following this warp checker. Now this one's really wonky, right? And I think I'm going to need to put another line going like this, but I don't know if that messes it up. I might have messed it up. So since I put that line there, I'm going to go ahead and put it there too. Yeah, I just think I just don't have enough squares there, so I just kind of drew some extra lines in for squares, but I did kind of mess it up. It's still going to look cool, but I don't know if it's going to look like. Okay, so this one's colored there. Ooh, I almost colored in the wrong one. That one. Now I try to look at the corners, make sure there's dark corners matching up. Like right here, I think I'm going to make that a square and put a line. And that. And here it gets a little complicated. Boom. Yeah, it's good for the brain. That's for sure. And here, kind of messed up, so I'm going to add a square. Right? We're the artists. We can do what we want. Okay, and then I started working it this way. Yours probably looks totally different. And it's a brain teaser, so, you know, the more you do this, God, think how long I've been doing it, and it's still, I have to work for it. But isn't it cool how it looks like it's warping? And maybe I shouldn't have drawn these there because I kind of like how long they were there where I didn't draw those extra lines, but that's okay. So that's just some basic practicing on warped warped checkers. And you can play with a lot of different shapes. Let's start like this and make these checkers curve this way. Now I'm drawing in really fast. And then I could make those curve this way, so let's make these curve the opposite way. I'm going to go ahead and finish it off. And I'll make these curve this opposite way, this way. And I'll make these curve that way. Okay, so that's dark, that would be light, dark, light. There's this one. I'm going really fast on this, but I'm just showing you, there's different ways. This isn't even something I've ever even looked up or done before. It's just an idea of a different way to warp your checkers. You're just warping your horizontal and vertical lines in different designs. You could warp it into letters, or you have block letters. You could do a square and make squigglies, and then warp it this way. So there's so many ways you could do it. So play around with your checkers, and let's get to the optical illusion.